I need to wait for the song to hit its apex and then go down. Welcome, Nonsensiac friends, to Tyranny. The best type of tyranny ever. The Obsidian made and unfortunately Paradox published CRPG, which is one of my modern classics. I consider it a personal modern classic. If the 3 videos I've already made on it weren't enough of proof of that, I'm working on a 4th. So this is kind of like it's part of that thing. So unfortunately, I discovered that I do not have my saved files any longer, and as such, because I needed some more gameplay footage, and as such I thought, you know what, I'll install it and reload a game and get what I need. I don't have them anymore. Apparently Epic doesn't save those on their servers on the cloud, because I have it through Epic. Unfortunately, I didn't get it. I haven't gotten it yet from GOG, though it is on the list. So I installed it, and no save games anymore, and that was a bit of a bummer. I made do, of course, but then I thought, you know what, maybe I should just stream it, well, at least for an evening, because I do love the game so much. Wait, before we actually start a new game, options. So this is an interesting and important one. Like, the first time you play the game, I do not suggest you play with this toggled on, because what this says is it displays the effects of choosing conversation options on the player character's reputation. And if you wanna gain a super immersive experience of the game, I suggest you don't play with this from the beginning. Your first playthrough, at least, I feel you should just go with the flow, go with your gut, and see where your gut takes you, basically. Me, on the other hand, this is my third playthrough, so I can do that. We'll keep everything on. Just for isn't that annoying. Controls, I think control is fine. Auto pause, I rarely use auto. I basically never use auto pause. I pause the game consistently when in battles, and that I don't think that makes for a very great streaming situation, but we'll see. It makes for a really annoying editing situation, I can tell you that. I think difficulty, let's see. Death, no, we don't want death. Show. Tutorial is short. Auto leveling companions is an interesting option. And you know what? I don't think I've done auto leveling companions, so let's just click it for this time. I'm not necessarily gonna take the entire playthrough through, but yeah, we'll see. So we went through this. Difficulty, no death, but then again, everything can stay there. Auto pause, party control, graphic. Wait, big heads. Big heads mode gives characters heads that are ludicrously disproportionate to their bodies. Thanks, Josh. This is an obvious reference to Josh Sawyer, and you know what? I'm a do that. Let's see what that's like. Also, gibs. If this option is enabled, gib effects may be used when enemies are killed. Yeah, let's use that as well. I don't think I've had gibs the last time around. Of course, I didn't play big hits the last time around because I did it for my video, but let's have some fun. High selection colorblind mode. I'm not that old-ish. Doesn't necessarily have to do something with age. Okay. Yeah, always a good idea. So new game. We get normal, we get story mode, which is funny. Hard difficulty is suited for veteran players of isometric RPGs, such as Pillars of Eternity, who are looking for a challenge. Oh, am I looking for a challenge? I'm not sure. Survival requires micromanagement and optimization of stats through items, spells, and abilities. Enemy AI is more efficient and uses abilities more frequently. This stream may end quickly. In Path of the Damned difficulty, enemies receive a bonus to most stats, have the most efficient AI, and will be very... Yeah, well, I'm not going Path of the Damned. Not that good. I may try hard difficulty and see how quickly I get my ass killed. Expert mode disables a number of helper features in the game. Players who want to rely on their own faculties and intuition while playing the game should play expert mode. This option is selected when you start a new game. It cannot be enabled in-game, and if disabled, cannot be re-enabled in that game. Helper feat. If Trial of Iron is enabled, only one save slot is permitted. If your party is defeated, you basically have a perma end, sort of. Your save is lost and you must start again. Recommended only for those who seek a greater challenge. This can only be modified. You know what? Let's go hard difficulty and expert mode, because we can turn off expert mode later on.
For over 400 years, the armies of Kairos the Overlord have swept across the known world. All who stood against them fell before their might. Even the Archons, women and men of immense power, were forced to kneel, chained to the Overlord's will. Now Kairos' final conquest has come to our corner of the world, and two of the Overlord's armies compete for the honor of taking our lands. The elite disfavored, and the teeming horde of the Scarlet Chorus. The voices of Nerat, spy master and Archon of secrets, guides the fierce and undisciplined masses of the Scarlet Chorus. With each battle, the Scarlet Chorus grows stronger, as the defeated are given a simple choice: serve or die. Graven Ash, Archon of War and the Overlord's most loyal general, leads the disfavored. Though small in number, Kairos' ironclad legion has never met true defeat in open battle. Watching over the two generals is Tunon, the Adjudicator, Archon of Justice, eldest of Kairos' minions. Tunon brings Kairos' laws to newly conquered lands, aided by the Fatebinders, judges and executioners of the Overlord's laws. You were among the youngest of the court of Fatebinders when Kairos' armies came to our lands. How could we have known that the fate of thousands would rest in your hands?
Dopey, dope. Slender guy. Short stacker guy. Oh, no, not really. He's like, bro, this is a broad-shouldered motherfucker. Yeah, I think this is more. I think this is closer to my actual skin tone. Now, do I look that cut? No, but close enough. Definitely not that big. Nor am I. You know what? Unfortunately, it's more like this. It's more like this build on this frame. Oddly enough, but we'll go with that. Next. Oh, can I get my hair on the character? Let's see. Oh, you know what? That will have to do. Actually, it's pretty. Meh. Fair enough. Though the shade I chose there is a bit too Dragon Ball Z. Is closer. That's maybe too dark, but this, yeah, I think. Due to the light, my hair is darker, but okay, it's not that bright. We're gonna go with that. It's fair enough. Male noble, male sneaky.
Quiet down.
Shh.
My wounds are... Huh. Good work!
Oh, no, that's definitely... Nope, that's definitely not me.
I'll just hold on to this.
On the lookout. On it.
You know what?
Found something.
We'll go with male sneaky because I think I want to build a sneaky sort of backstabby. We'll see. I'm not sure yet what type of character I want to build. We'll talk about that at when we get to stats. Snakes. We're gonna go with snakes, I think. But why is it? Why does he have the snakes on the leg? I mean, fair enough. Mine are black within. Well, technically within. Close enough. Skin color. Close enough. Portraits. Now, I got a bunch of portraits. I think, yeah. I got the gold edition, which includes the 2 DLCs. So I think the portrait pack is in there. Maybe, I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure. Now, faces. A face. Look at this guy's mustache. But he's a spellcaster, and I'm definitely not gonna go. No, I'm not gonna do a spellcaster. The first playthrough I did was a spellcaster. The second playthrough, I think I did a dual wielding warrior fighter type build. So definitely not spellcaster. Maybe. This guy looks like a weird fantasy Rambo. I think maybe this guy. We may go with this guy. I don't think any of the other ones. I have a bow and arrow. No, not again. I'm not doing spellcasties. They don't necessarily speak to me. So I forgot. No. This guy. Fine. We're gonna go with this guy. Now, how did you join Kairos' army? Pit fighter, hunter, guild apprentice, noble, scion, diplomat, war mage, lawbreaker, soldier. Let's see. A guild apprentice, deeply proud of your knowledge, intelligence. Sorry, your parents always knew you were too smart for a life spent. Blah blah blah blah blah blah blah blah blah. You learn much from the mages, mastering reading and writing faster than the rest, and eventually learning the basics of mystic theory and spellcraft. Okay. So this is, you're still spellcasting. Again, I'm not going spellcasty, so let's see. Pit fighter. Not wishing to pay to feed and house too. The madame that purchased your mother all around. There was no elegant swordplay, no formalized duels, just brutal melee and the stench of blood. You know, the melee thing might have some interest for me because I'm curious if I can build a monk or basically like a hand-to-hand. If there's potential for like a brawler monk hand-to-hand type build. So I'm thinking maybe pit fighter is the closest. I'm not sure you can in this game. Yeah, let's go pit fighter and see where this takes us. Ah, to the unarmed attacks. Okay. Unarmed fighting is one of the most challenging combat styles. No shit. Damage is generally lower, but this is offset by the speed of your attacks. A good style for someone interested in being challenged. We've established this at the beginning. While fighting unarmed, the dodge skill is used to avoid melee attacks rather than parry. Okay, we're gonna go with unarmed attacks. Boom. There's a pretty well-dressed ninja there. I think I can see him. Choose an ability. Flurry of blows. That's nice. Ooh, palm strike. Palm strike is very monk. Let's see what it does. It has a 30-second cooldown. Okay, they both have 30-second cooldown. It's fine. Damage. 1428 crush versus parry. Okay. Effects. Foe target 3-meter push. That's cute. Target versus endurance silenced for 15 seconds. Nice. I mean, if the target doesn't save. Interrupt valid weapons or perform a powerful palm strike to the target's chest, interrupting them, pushing them back, and silencing the motherfuckers. Okay, it doesn't say that. I had to, from spellcasting. Oh, so it's an actual silencing ability. Ah, that's kind of really useful. Also, apparently you can use that with a bunch of weapons, and I can use palm strike with regardless of whether or not I wield a weapon, so that's kind of cute. Secondary expertise. Believing that all of his agents should be well-rounded, to none order that you receive training in a secondary combat style. Fate binders are often deployed into treacherous circumstances, and one's ability to adapt to unexpected changes, like sudden violence or a legal entanglement, can represent the difference between life and death. That is quite valid. Let's see. Javelin. Dual wielding. I could go unarmed attacks. Could go in on unarmed attacks. War mace is kind of cute. I do love using a nice warhammer, but you know what? Let's be very. Let's make some very poor choices. Let's see. So these are mainly from the game. This looks just like a palm, which is kind of cute fun. I'll go with the Ouroboros, not Ouroboros. It's the pharmacy symbol, but we're cool. And as for banner, what are my channel color? What are the closest to my channel colors? Teal, definitely, and that's kind of cool. That's maybe not that cool. That's not that good. No. Yeah, you know what? The white kind of looks pretty cool, I think. We're gonna go with that. Ooh. Ah, big fan of purple. Ooh, purple on purple. Now, can I pull this off? I think I can. But let's do this. A nice purple orange. Doesn't necessarily all have to be teal. Ooh, I do love teal though. We're gonna go with this. I'm gonna go with this bad boy. Might. There is the physical strength of a character, yeah. Finesse, attribute of the character's physical and mental precision. Finesse is used to determine accuracy of attacks and spells, or accuracy, no, accuracy, as well as increasing one armor's chance to reduce a hit type. Now, if you're gonna play a monk, you can try to play like a crit heavy monk. Quickness is good. Bonus health plus will defense, and that's also kind of useful. Okay, so we're a monk, right? So we're gonna need an above average might, above average vitality, at least in my mind. Above average agility, let's call it. And oh yeah, we can work on the finesse later. We're gonna go quickness might. Let's see, unarmed combat. Yeah, give me all the unarmed combat I can get. Oh, I can get all the unarmed combat. Cool. You will have to use some other stuff occasionally, but you know. Now, I think it said that I use dodge, not parry. Against ranged attacks from bows, javelins, and magic spells, higher skill ranks will reduce damage taken, or even cause enemies to miss their attack altogether. Yep. See, dodge, unarmed attacks expertise goes into dodge, so dodge is important. I love lore, but I will take Lantry, and Lantry has a shit ton of lore, but lore is important for you as well in the game. So yeah, it's a bit... oh, so what I don't put here, I cannot put here then. Okay, fair enough. Let's go 30. And yeah, we'll just leave it at that for now. Let's play the conquest stage. Let's you see the conquest stage.
All the world has fallen to Kairos, and now the Overlord's eye is on the Tears, our home. The last corner of the world free of Kairos' reign. Two armies, the Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus, march south from the Northern Empire, the last realm to fall to Kairos a century prior. In the early days of 428, Kairos' armies arrive at the Gates of Judgment, the mountainous border that we Tearsmen so long believed unassailable. Unable to agree on a unified plan of defense, the various leaders of the Tears sit and wait for each other to deal with the conquerors, until it's too late.
So during the conquest stage, you will decide your character's actions during Kairos' invasion of the Tears, shaping the world through which you will adventure over the course of the game. Each choice you make affects your character and how major factions of the Tears respond to you. Your decisions matter, choose wisely. This is a really cool part of the game because it's kind of a way for the developers to kind of have their cake and eat it as well. Not only do you get to play in a world where your character has already existed, so you have to deal with some consequences, but by offering you the option of going through the conquest stage, although you can quickly decide through the quick start version, you making these decisions kind of like locks you into the experience as well. It's a really great touch, which I don't know if it's been used, if it's been borrowed in other CRPGs or games afterwards, but it's a great sort of, it's both a great mechanic, but it's also great from a onboarding, let's say, point of view. The Bastard City, which, by the way, it's the Bastard City. It looks like this, and this thing, it looks like this. It makes me think of the Magic the Gathering card City of Brass. The Bastard City stood on the northern border between Kairos' empire and the Tears. Built upon a natural harbor at the crossroads between realms, the city was a nexus of commerce. To the Tears, it was the center of all wealth. To a northerner, it was little more than a backwater trading post. Its symbolic status as a gateway to the continent made it a natural first target in Kairos' military conquest. Circumstances were ideal for you to prove your worth as a soldier in Kairos' armies. Taking the city would send a message to the rest of the Tears: Kairos' will is insurmountable. So now you get to choose between two events. Infiltrate the Tears, both armies send their forces to prepare the way, or Gates of Judgment. In the first major engagement of the war, Kairos' enemies cross the mountains and establish a foothold. Since I'm playing a monk-ish, although in this world it's less of a monk and more of a ninja, I think infiltration makes sense. So history would remember the gates of, or monk slash stabby motherfucker, I guess. Remembers the Gates of Judgment as the first battle of the conquest, but the real combat unfolded with advanced units of both armies preparing for the coming war. The disfavored Scarlet Chorus each had a plan to infiltrate the capital. Which army did you join? And here I think you can just do one for each, just to be like neutral. You learn to escort to the elite disfavored scouts to capture the border garrison. Graven Ash stated that an early victory in the offensive would boost the morale of his troops and diminish the haughty overconfidence of Southerners. They raid the villages in small towns, conscripting every able. The Oathbound scouts identified a modest border defense and collaborated on an organized attack that would leave the enemy uncoordinated and cut off from aid. You oversaw the preparations and offered your opinions to the strategy. When the clashing of swords and spears fell to silence, followed by the cheering of disfavored scouts, you were the least surprised. Inside Agent, you found an ally within the city to prepare the way for the approaching armies, or containing the fire. Bastard City resident fire mages threatened the first leg of conquest. Kairos' forces put a stop to their unchecked power. The fiercest opponents in the Bastard City were the mages of the School of Wild Wrath. Too barbaric to use their power responsibly, the unbridled practitioners needed to be stopped. How did you trick the hot temper mages into their own undoing? We're gonna go with the Scarlet Chorus. You tricked the Golderas into meeting with the voices of Nerat, who probably ate them. Yeah, the Archon was notorious for his cruel and mysterious interrogation techniques. The mages were never seen again. The voices of Nerat consumes people with powers. He eats them, basically. There were few who could describe what horrors the Archon of Secrets visited upon his enemies during the conquest. Whether the elder mages knew little of the Archon's reputation or met with him out of curiosity didn't matter. Once the flap of the Archon's tent closed, none of them were heard from again, save from a strangled cry of alarm that ended just as swiftly. Leaderless, the School of Wallrath fell into disorder, and their remaining members were slain by the disfavored or the conscripted. Placed you in the bastard city ahead of the main armies. Your work softened. Oh, and this gives you a different ability. This gives you Concealing Shadows. Once per account, self 100% graze, less accuracy but way more dodge, way more parry. For a short duration, enemies that use physical attacks against you have a significantly increased chance to miss. Okay. Abilities. Warrior's Respite. Yeah, no, we'll go with Assassinations. Apparently, the build is going towards a stealthy ninja type of thing. The bastard city settled into a new state of normalcy, with every tower displaying Kairos' banner. Damn straight. Your name was whispered alongside the rumors of decorated career to come. The armies divided into two fronts and migrated south. Tunan sent word that you were to join the next frontier of Kairos, either as judge and overseer of the settlement of Leviathan's Crossing, Leviathan, or as a war advisor with the armies advancing into the realm of Apex. I'm gonna go with judge and overseer. Keep in mind, I could have chosen Apex and it would have been a very different game world setup. Years ago, Lethian. I'm gonna go with Lethian. The Bold founded a small merchant town at the intersection of ancient old worlds. A pact between the settlers and a mercenary company meant that caravans were able to travel without fear of bandits or bane, and the town thrived in a modest insignificance. Lethian's Crossing drew Kairos' attention for the iron deposits in the surrounding hills, with the region under Kairos' control. Blah, blah, blah, blah, blah, blah. Okay. The Cult of Sirin. Sirin. The Archon of Song used her arcane charm to lure locals into joining Kairos' army. As a patroness of the Scarlet Chorus, her efforts were critical to the conscription of new recruits. When an enthralled, disfavored soldier joined her cult, his company feared that the Archon was growing out of control and needed to be stopped. He demanded cease her recruitment practices and that they be allowed to violently subdue her cult. You send the latest bunch of cultists to the front lines of the... What about this one? The iron must flow. Oh, really? Okay. Kairos' myth mages worked day and night to create weapons. No one faulted their dedication, yet production was low. The plans that came to light proved divisive to the disfavored and Scarlet Chorus. On one hand, any additional manpower was needed for fighters, not forges. Ooh. On the other hand, the celebrated weaponry of Kairos' armies needed to be fiercely guarded. Yeah, we're gonna go with disfavor for this one. Kairos' armies used Lethian's Crossing as a reprieve from the wall. The city grew more crowded as the mercenary army hired by the Archon of Secrets occupied the barracks where the trained resources. What about this? Since you aided the production of weapons, commanders of both armies lobbied for additional arms. They offered all manner of bribes to be the next in line for a fitting session. Yeah, we're gonna remain neutral. We're gonna go with the... Wait. We're gonna go with the Scarlet Chorus here. Oh shit, okay. We're gonna give them to the disfavored. Now, these are all places that you will visit later on in the game, potentially. With the mercenaries expelled and Leviathan's crossing under new leadership, Kairos' forces congratulated themselves on bringing order to the settlement and guaranteeing a productive flow of resources. Over the course of this diversion, the army front advanced further into the tiers. Your skills were needed in the realm of Azur, Stalwart, or the Velum Citadel. I don't think I ever went to Azur. Can't remember for sure. The nation of Azur, once the richest settlement of the tiers, sat on a verdant fertile plain. As the disfavored clashed with Azur's defenders, the Scarlet Chorus contended against the region's tribal beastmen, who protected their ancestral lands with incredible fury. Kairos dispatched the Archon Cairn to break the stalemate and force Azur into submission. The Colossal Man of... Okay, no, so I've been here. This was my first playthrough, I'm pretty sure. The destruction of Azur. Cairn, the Archon of Stone, carved a deadly path through Azur, using his powers to blight the land. The Scarlet Chorus complained that his tactics left no farmland to feed the growing army. Since Cairn marched with the disfavored, the Scarlet Chorus held the legion responsible for the destruction of their lands. Okay. Stalked by shadows. After a roaming pack of beastmen slaughtered the disfavored patrol, the Scarlet Chorus responded by laying claim to the beast for their army, while the disfavored readied the company to enact vengeance. The disfavored legion considered the beast beyond taming, and the butchers of their northern brethren needed to be brought to justice. Taming the beasts or Cairn's tribe. A wounded Scarlet Chorus claimed her gang was mauled by beastmen loyal to the Archon of Stone, but Cairn could not be found. The Scarlet Chorus sought to capture the tribe. The disfavored insisted, I'm gonna go with disfavored on this one. Edict of Stone happens. The Archon of Stone made brazen declaration that Kairos had no claim to rule the tiers. Soon after, word arrived that Kairos would dispatch the rebellious minion with an edict. The disfavored took solace in knowing the edict was coming, and the commanders petitioned you to be the bearer of justice. Tunan selected you for the honor of proclaiming Kairos' Edict of Stone, a magical spell with the power to destroy the Archon. As he sensed his approaching doom, Cairn began an assault on Plainsgate, the largest human settlement of the area. It fell to you to send Kairos' forces into a suicide mission to halt Cairn's destruction while you completed the proclamation of the edict. Oh, apparently you can start over, and I want to start over because I've been to that one. I want to do Stalwart.
All
Or wait, I can exit. No. No, what did Lithians or what do Lithians crossing? Oh, I see. There's different options depending on what you do. Drawn to the arcane energy around the forges, mystical predators from the nearby old walls began to raid Lithuanians crossing at all while both of Kairos' armies reserve their strength and just go. Yeah, let's do Stalwart. Realm of Stalwart was best known for its proud army, disciplined, courageous, and undefeated on their home soil. Skill and resolve made Stalwart a military power that Kairos' forces approached with due caution. Largely safe, blah blah blah. Contention setback. After a defeat at the hands of enemy defenders, the Scarlet Chorus accused the disfavor of recklessness. The disfavor claimed the Scarlet had brought too few soldiers to cover their flanks. Both armies refused to march until you gave a ruling, because they're fucking bitches. The Stalwart defenders burned their crops as they retreated, leaving the invaders little to forage. Starving, the upbraided from disfavor while maintained supply lines, incurring casualties on both sides. Better dead than red. The Beast of Stalwart, huh? Yes. No, okay, so you deliver either of the older ones. This is weird for the Scarlet Chorus, but weird, I'm sure.
The year is 431. With their main forces spread across the tiers, the disfavored and Scarlet Chorus redeploy to Vendrian's Well to crush the resistance. But months pass with no definitive battle. As disagreement and discord paralyze the Archons, we bide our time and wait for our message of insurrection to spread across the tiers. The Overlord is not amused, and Kairos has one message for the Archons: crush the Oathbreakers or die. Kairos backs this threat with an edict, a magical commandment that can slay all in the valley should the order be ignored. The honor of proclaiming this edict fell to you. Sent across the mountains to Vendrian's Well, you carry the Overlord's edict to read before the Archons. As you finally make your way through the winding mountain passes into the valley, the ground trembles, and Kairos' magic seals the way behind you. You are trapped in Vendrian's Well, with Kairos' armies and the Oathbreakers. The only way to survive is to fulfill the terms of the Overlord's edict, in any way that you can.
Okay, the giant heads is super funny. That's extraordinarily amusing. Aurora says, Kairos the Overlord be praised. When I heard the avalanche, or the avalanche, I fear the valley was sealed with you on the other side. See, and this is where what we did in the Conquest Age makes sense, because it's a pleasure to see you again, Fatebander. You were here with us since before the first official days of the Conquest, and so it's fitting you're here now. in what I hope is the last gasp of resistance from this backwards steersman. He's hoping you can convince the Archons to settle on a plan to crush the Oathbreakers. That's why you're here, right? And when you click on in honor of the Viridian God. Forgive me, it is not my place to question. We should have conquered the enemy within weeks of arriving in the valley. To delay that reflects poorly on all of us, indeed. I've seen why they call you Stormcaller. Yeah, because of the Edict of Wind. The giant heads are just, I fucking love it. Okay, it's maybe not that funny. It's funny, but in combat it's not that cool though. It's a bit odd. See, because you can't really see what's going on. Oh, but it's so funny. Yeah. Ooh, yeah, that pushback is dope. Yeah, okay, it's unfortunately... What do we do? Thrust. Valid damage.
Will do. On it.
Oh, Gibbs. Okay. Oh, chill, lady. Jesus Christ. Game. Where is that? Let's not. Let's skip the big heads. Unfortunately, it's funny, but it's not as visually cool. The avalanche has us blocked. Think you could fit through the cover? I think so. You can squeeze through a narrow gap between the stones, or you can attempt to push. Oh shit! That guy got sneakety snucked.
Will do. Heads up, we have company. Sorry, I can't.
Why can't you? Let's see the animation. Oh, that's cool animation. The palm animation is cool.
I got it.
I don't think you got it. Oh, that's like a dick punch. That's fine.
I've had far worse.
Ooh, I do like that that animation. This but a scratch. Mushroom.
Can't do that. Can't do that.
Try and catch me, worm.
Verse. This one's crazy. Too much lead in her water. We should cut our losses and turn back.
Ha! Fate Finder. You're here at last. Care to join me in putting these cowards out of their misery?
Save something for me.
Look at that, future corpse.
Ah.
Take that!
Come on, show me the enemy. Ooh. Hope Verse is doing her stuff.
Phew. I can tell you didn't spend the conquest in a diplomat's tent. I'm Verse, by the way. But there are more important things to take care of than introductions. Those Vendrian guard we killed didn't come alone. My guess? The Vendrian guard are testing our strength in battle, learning how we perform before they organize a real offensive. That or they're really, really desperate to get beyond the mountains and couldn't wait until nightfall.
You fight like a storm. What's your role in the army?
A Scarlet Fury, one of the elite killers of our ignoble gang. You'll see more than a few of us around camp, but don't let that fool you. We're a rare breed. Most of the soldiers in the Scarlet Chorus are little more than farmers and children armed with rusted forks. Makes them easier to control. The voices of Nerat called his best fighters to this siege. There must be something important about Vendrian's well, though don't ask me what. The Archon isn't in the habit of spilling secrets. Eager. I like that. Before we go, you might search among the remains of our fallen comrades. Wherever they're bound, I doubt they'll miss their boots, much less any rings or any useful iron they might be clutching. No reason to pity the fallen. Before long, we might wish we'd joined them here. But at least we'll enjoy heavy pockets and warm toes. For the voices of Nerat!
On it.
I applaud your bravery, but I implore you to end this foolishness and lay down your arms. Run down the Oathbreakers, let none escape! Shit, my headphones are dying. Give me a sec. I think we're back.
To battle!
Oh shit, got these abilities in here. Let's see, Verse has this thing. Which sets motherfuckers on fire. Blood-soaked stone. Oh, that's cute. We'll see about that.
On it.
Ooh, love that. Okay, so in expert mode, one of the things is you don't see their health anymore.
Let's do this, you and me.
Flawless. I got it. Can't.
Oh,
On it.
they're keeping this dog. I have the ceremonial armor 1. Oof. Even this shitty one has armor 3. Oh, I have some healing potions apparently. Okay. A bit more armor, crash corona, a bit more recovery and less deflection. Staggering burn plus 40 armor stolen after 30 seconds. Ah, okay, so it's a weapon thing. Yeah, that's for verse, definitely. She's wielding Red Rivers and Gutseeker. I'm gonna go with that for now. Show your weapons, or we find out how long a man screams before hitting the ravine down below. Cornered between a precipitous drop and a band of angry soldiers, the Oathbreaker warrior holds a disfavored officer at knife point. Skewer him, worry not for me. Graven Ash will protect. You heard the man. He plainly invited you to use that little blade of yours. What are you waiting for? Permission from your pip? Lower my weapon and then charge forward to wrest the knife from him. With his attention, the Oathbreaker cracks a wide smile as you lower your weapon. That's right, now the rest of you, drop those weapons. With his attention on the other warriors, you dash forward. He reaches out with his dagger to slay Drastus, but your hand is already on his wrist. With a wrenching twist, you mangle his hand, dropping the dagger harmlessly on the ground. Kairos be praised. The Oathbreakers fought with the rage of Cairn himself. Thank you, Fatebinder. From the looks of it, guess they thought if they swarmed the pass, maybe one might make it out. We found a few scraps of parchment on the bodies. They hold up a crumpled parchment for your inspection. Literacy is rare in the Northern Empire, where the disfavored are born and trained. Time spent reading and writing is, after all, time not spent sparring and readying one's body and mind for battle. A student of letters such as yourself should be able to make sense of this. The parchment explains the Vendrian Guard's desire to overthrow Kairos' archons and rout their enemies from the tiers. The pages aren't addressed to any specific reader, but rather openly invite all who remain loyal to the younger realms to gather at Vendrian's well.
Right.
The prisoner says his name's Tarkis Demos. And I don't think this is a complicated matter. He dies. His family has been a driving force in the Vendrian Guard. Killing him should demoralize whatever's left of the Tarkis clan. I have gained favor with Scarlet Chorus. We must give the vanquished enemy a chance to serve. That is our law. Smiling with recognition at your presence, the chanter points your way. Just ask the governor here. You understand the wisdom of the Scarlet Chorus. The Overlord does not wish to rule over a ruined crater. We must conquer. But if we show no mercy, we will have conquered the mountainous stretch of nothing. We'd let you take prisoners, but you can't control them. You send these conscripts out on patrol and they never return, defecting all over again. I can't let this nonsense strategy continue. Hey, with that use of nonsense there. Well, I insist this Oathbreaker be taken to the voices of Nerat, leaving us at an impasse. Fortunately, we have a Fatebinder here to settle the matter for us. That's me. The chanter turns to you, an expected smile creeping out of it. So, what say you? What should become of this prisoner? Execute the Oathbreaker. One chance to surrender is enough. The chorus should be allowed its chance to recruit new warriors. Yeah, let's go with that. Need supplies. Well, you see, Fatebinder, I think so. I've been handing these bits of scripts. She reaches in across the stack of her revisions, snatcher, but I'm not a woman of letters. Numbers are my strength, so you can. Let me see those. Cursory read indicates this merchant is granted the unlimited right to trade in logistical capacity. When not supporting an active battle, she has the right to trade grain, copper, and olives. Olives? I love olives, but Hierarchy and the Bronze acquire these on my behalf. I don't even know. Oh, this actually gives haste. That's useful. Haste +1 quickness, yep. Blood of the Fallen, range 50 meters, projectile 24, radius 6 meters, blah, blah, blah, blah, blah, blah, blah, blah, blah, blah, blah. The fridge of the scroll last here. Foe AoE versus endurance, plus 13.08 armor, corrode stolen. Yeah, okay. Anything else to be done on here? Oh, I can talk to her. Couldn't help but notice how you were eyeballing the disfavor symbol littered about camp.
What do you need?
Insufficient reputation.
If you insist. I'm a Scarlet Fury. That should raise some flags for you. It means that I'm good at killing, and more importantly, that I enjoy it. What I won't enjoy are the pleasures of funerary rites packed with weeping mourners. Someday I'll fall in battle, and then they'll roll me into a mass grave or heap me atop a shit-stained wagon. One more anonymous, knife-riddled piece of meat. Until then, I plan to take whatever I can from life and have a little fun along the way.
How did I think I have the wrong idea about me. The Chorus didn't take me as a sobbing maid. I stole into their camp and enlisted. Someone tossed me a dented blade. I lived through initiation, spent a week butchering my neighbors, and moved on with my new kin. Okay, that's an origin story. I didn't waste time with goodbyes. My mother had long since died, and the rest of my family were louses. The girl I used to be, even she knew that she was worth more than all of them combined. You learn a thing or two about fighting in the Sky-Girl. Care to duel?
Fatebinder, I treat my craft like my mother treated her hagsberry pie. I don't give the recipe to just anyone. Come to think of it, I still don't know what was in that damn pie.
What do you think of those who defy Kairos' authority? The Tearsman can either fight or submit to Kairos' peace, and only one of those options captures my interest. I suppose I appreciate when they go down fighting. If they did otherwise, I would need to find another excuse to flay them. They need to understand whether we unify the Tears under a shared banner or at the bottom of a mass grave makes little difference to you, me, or Kairos. It's an interesting view of the conquest. It's a pragmatic one anyway. The Scarlet Chorus caught on to the idea of at the beginning of the campaign. If no one objects that we're here to carve a bloody path for gain and amusement, then by all accounts, that is of our purpose. Okay, that's enough. That's enough companion chatting for it, companion reputation building for a bit.
What do we have here?
Potion of invisibility. Okay. Okay, the ones are close. Yeah, and then, ooh. 39 subterfuge. Oh no. No one has 39 subterfuge? I doubt it. Yeah, 35, and I have 31.
Sorry, I can't.
Wait. Where does one... Give me a sec.
Sorry,
go
I can't.
here?
Can't do
I
that.
cannot go there. Okay. Maybe I have to go that away. This guy's still here. Oh, okay. Number of small grooves. It otherwise appears fairly ordinary. Okay. I can take it. Oh shit. Ah. The path behind you is now blocked. Kairos' magic has sealed the alleyway. This is still a really cool concept. The ancient weeping mother statue pays homage to the Queen Lycerus, first of her name. Fresh water once flowed through the statue, but when Kairos' forces attacked Vendrian's well in 429, the statue began weeping blood and has done so ever since. Forgot to add that in one of my videos. That's an interesting, it's a cute tidbit of trivia.
Sorry, I can't.
The fuck do I... Where the fuck do I go? What's going on? Travel to this favorite camp. Okay, make your way southeast through fort and travel to this favorite camp. Yeah. Ah. Okay. Where's the exit? Where's the map exit?
Can't do that.
I have toggle exits toggled.
Can't do that.
I'm missing something.
Can't do that. Sorry, I can't.
Oh, yeah, I was missing this. I got stuck. $39 subterfuge. I need to get someone with more subterfuge. Okay, now we can get out. Oh, I leveled. Let's see. Leadership, defense, power, agility, range, magic. Okay. We already have palm strike. We like palm strike, yeah. There's defense, there's leadership. Oh, this is in agility, yeah. Okay, those are fun. Grants a bonus, yeah. Bandolier. Oh, this requires level 3, level 3. I do have the thrust ability. Ooh, rapid strike that over one opponent. That sounds good. Subterfuge.
Right.
Take what you can carry, but leave the cart. Otherwise, we seize you and your wares. This is robbery. Let's do some fate binding. Hail, fate binder. I still don't understand what I've done to offend. I respect that these are now disfavored lands, and I'm happy to give the Legion proper toll. But she's going on about trading rights. What nonsense is that? I'm not allowed to trade one thing for another? It's not like I'm selling weapons to angry peasants or anything of the sort. The Overlord regulates all trade. If you lack the proper permits, your goods are forfeit. To whom would I speak about, Sergeant? Not us, another problem. Maybe march your butt to Bastard City and plead your case before Tunan. But we'll lighten your burden and relieve you of your wares first. That should make the long trek a bit more bearable. Anything to be argued before Tunan may be argued before me. What's there to discuss? We should kill this mongrel, and if the Fate Binder wishes to... the warrior pauses, placing her hand in front of her mouth. If the Fate Binder wishes to weigh in on the matter, courtesy demands we listen. The soldier clears her throat, looking at you expectantly. This is a disfavor matter, but I know the agents of the court do so love to throw their judgments around. Well, you could rob me now and have my supplies today, or you can leave me alive and have fermented honey all year long. I even know a few family recipes for painkillers and healing drafts. Certainly any army will need those. But he has no permits. You're allowing this low-born wretch to profit when he should toil like any other conquered tearsman? Fatebinder, it is your right to settle disputes when we lock horns with the chorus, but you have no authority on this matter. But I have the authority to write him a trade permit. Slow down a moment. I know we're both eager to watch the Archons bicker over tactics, like a pair of magpies, but I need to ask you something first. What's that? The voices of Nerat told me that you've come as a mediator. Considering the source, well, I can't help but feel I'm only hearing half the story. So let's have it out. What's so special about you? I'm here to deliver an edict for Kairos. That makes a crazy kind of sense. Considering how long the siege has taxed the armies, I can understand why Kairos would send you with an edict to speed things along. Have you read it? Do you know what it says? The Archons must claim Ascension Hall by Kairos' Day of Swords, or all will perish. One more thing about the Archons to fight over. Well, thanks for cluing me in. If Kairos sends any lightning our way, just tell me where to duck. What else has the voices of Nerat told you? Only that I could find you in Edgering Ruins. Truthfully, I could have picked you out of the crowd. You're the only one of us who hasn't spent the last few months bathing in the stink of Matani River. Why so suspicious? It's just a feeling I got. When the Archons are together, the air gets as taut as a bowstring. I can't help but think that no amount of compromise will get them seeing eye to eye. So why invite a mediator from Tunan's court? It doesn't add up. Why do you think the Archons are at odds? I've been with the Scarlet Chorus since the early days of the conquest, so I can say it's been building for a few years now. There's an energy about those two, like a pair of storms moving to collide. I heard tell that Graven Ash and the voices of Nerat shared some bad blood in the Northern Empire, but I don't know any of the particulars. By my authority, the Archons will fall in line. That sounds like exactly the attitude to set this campaign in the right direction. I don't envy you the task of getting them to cooperate, which sounds about as easy as teaching a tornado to heal. At least it sounds like you know what you're doing. Go no further. You approach this favored state. State your business. I'm Tunan's Fatebinder. Stand aside. I am expected. Giving orders like you own the place already. The Archons are expecting you. You can find them in the war tent. Head straight for a... The thing is, you as a Fatebinder, technically speaking, you kind of have the... You don't have the same amount of power, let's say, as the Archons, but as a representative of Tunan, as a direct representative of Tunan, you kind of do. Yesterday you chided me for wishing to wait. Now you suggest an even longer delay. Perhaps the voices in your scholar to come to a consensus if you wish to take seriously. To be taken seriously. Good advice is flexible, changing with the moment. I don't know why that's his voice, but that's...
That's 4 reports of avalanches in the mountains now.
Oh, their voice.
Cheersmen can barely count past 9. They
Oops.
have neither the capacity nor the cause to close off the mountain passes. Either way, That leaves the second and fourth cohort trapped outside the valley.
He has a voice box modulator.
Or it's the work of your perfidious Earthshakers. Only a fool would not suspect a traitorous Archon of poisoning the mind of his students with sedition.
My voice was close.
We would have killed the Earthshakers Guild for their master's treachery. But I'm sure you have some perfectly valid reason for allowing them to live as your pawns.
Yes, he does this weird thing that I do for, let's say, a bit more flamboyant villains. The Archon of Secrets passes a scepter between his hands as he speaks, twirling the rod in hypnotic circle. And now if you do this, you hear the voices in your head. Well, hello there, Fatebinder. We'll be with you in just a moment. And that's a super cool... It's not even meta, but it's a super cool way of using the game mechanics to even further immerse you in the game.
Hey, watch yourself. When these two get going, you don't want to get between them.
Let's be cool. Let's clear my throat.
I always know you've run out of things to say when you resort to mocking my vassals. If we are to speak of treachery, why is it that my scouts see the Scarlet Chorus warriors defecting back to the Vendrian Guard? Your fearsome reputation has gone flaccid, for it seems you cannot control your soldiers. Or perhaps you simply choose not to.
My lords, the Fatebinder has arrived. Raises her voice, trying with little success to speak to Operation. Perhaps we could table the discussion and let our guest speak.
Speaking of strategic failures, who was it that insisted the valley would need only a token garrison? For some strange reason, we can't seem to recall which balding half-wit grossly underestimated the enemy. Thoughts?
See, like, so I like the voices of the rat's voice, but like I would have, if I could have, I would have taken it even like, I would have done it even more hammy, more, you know, exaggerated, kind of like a Batman villain, a Batman 66 villain. Dark Oakless, you hear the voice in your head. Can you hear us, Fatebinder? Cough, if we have your attention.
And I thought you had left agents within these Tearsmen when they surrendered. Either you failed to see this coming, or you knew and let it happen. Incompetent or in cahoots, either way, this mess has your filthy stink all over it.
We look forward to seeing you explain to Tunon why the Archon of War could not close the vice on this trivial little insurgency. When we are crowned the ruler of the Tears, we shall have this place renamed to Ash's Folly in your honor.
Good, good. Now pay attention, you might miss something. I've gained loyalty with Verse, Wrath with Graven Ash, and Favor with the voices of Nerat. They bicker like children, do they not? The fifth eye is granting tenor pierces. I meant only to say welcome. Welcome. Yeah, this is welcome, welcome to our guest, the Fatebinder. Yeah, I'm not gonna glare silent.
Ah, the Stormcaller. Conveniently late once more. Our eyes and ears tell us you come bearing an edict. The anticipation is killing us.
My soldiers tell me you helped Commander Drotus on your way through Edring. You honor the court with your selfless cooperation, for that is the sort of camaraderie that Kairos demands of us all. For the second time, Brother Tunon selects you for the glory of proclamation. You should be honored. Tell us, what has the Overlord decided to unleash upon the Oathbreakers?
Oh, okay. So with export options, it doesn't show me the reputation shit either, even though I've selected it. I noticed that now. Can I? Ah, shit. It seems you need some encouragement to work together. Kairos' edict will end the lives of everyone in this valley, unless Ascension's Hall is claimed by Kairos' Day of Sorrows. Swords, that's probably what I would go with. The earth sways with each word you utter, the air thickening with warmth as you pronounce the tersely phrased commandment, its every syllable drafted by the hand of Kairos. With the edict proclaimed, your pulse quickens and the muscles in your legs, worn from a long trip down the mountains, feel renewed. The tired limbs now nearly buoyant with vigor.
The Overlord means to compel us into action. No doubt the avalanches in the mountains are part of this ultimatum. We must conquer the Oathbreakers or die in failure. There is no room for error, and no other way out of this valley alive. We'll need to advance across the Mittani. We lose everything if we stand still, and we move to backup Plan Green. The Earthshakers didn't make it over the mountain in time, so we do this the hard way. Over the walls instead of through.
So you found your backbone at last! Oh, we were worried past humiliations would make you soft, timid. That was a record for you, right? A baker's dozen lost in one sortie. If you had waited for the chorus reinforcements, maybe we'd have eyes and ears on the matter.
You know who would have been a great voice? Like, whose voice I sort of hear in my head, but with a different vibe? David Tennant. This guy's voice is kind of close to David Tennant's, but I have heard David Tennant in various roles do some very weird modulations with his stuff. So yeah, I think that would have worked really well. You hear the voices in your head. Watch him squirm. So many tears, our replaceable expendables, useless soldiers. I miss the old Archon of War. You never see blood echo in a blubbering mess over a few dead killers. He'd use the knuckle bows of his best disciples for jewelry, and even made a breastplate out of his dead brother's... what? Ribcage. Because that's how a real man deals with grief. Jesus Christ. Learn to work together, or we're all
The
doomed.
Fatebinder is right. We're acting not as leaders, but as children. I've no time for your foolish japes and petty taunts. We should focus on the objective at hand, and that is taking the Mittani River, and then advancing to Ascension Hall and ending this edict.
Do not think for a moment that you can give us orders, maggot. Not unless you wish to discover new ways of feeling pain. Our soldiers clamor for battle, and at last we shall have it. Verse, we command you to continue guarding the Fatebinder. Tunan's Chosen is our honored guest, and must be shown our finest hospitality.
I won't let you down, boss. He'll get through the campaign in one piece, as long as he doesn't do anything too stupid.
And before we forget, we have a debt to settle. Last year, when our warriors got confused about supply lines, so kind of you to understand how things get muddled in the fog of war.
This is what Conquest stage. You hear the voices in your head. Swing by the Scarlet Chorus camp before you get wrapped up in whatever errands that is favored demand of you. The Scarlet Chorus could benefit from your expertise.
Bribery? But we paid you after you helped us. You law pups are so hard to figure.
Finally, the fool and his puppet are gone. Perhaps now I can hear myself think. Rarely do I question Kairos' judgment, but I will never understand why the voices of Narot is given such authority. I shudder to think what will become of us all should Tunon favor him in the end. Though the edict threatens the Scarlet Chorus just as it threatens us, I cannot shake the feeling that our allies will work against us. You've shown your worth in war, and your name has been known to the Legion since the very beginning of this long conquest. So if you wish to be counted amongst the glorious, speak with the Iron Marshal. She will direct the order of battle until we are ready for the final push into the Citadel.
I'm short a few scouts, short a few soldiers, short a few everything. I'm sure my brethren would be grateful for the assistance of a skilled outsider.
I ask myself that question often. While we take the river crossing, the Scarlet Chorus should be using their sizable presence to remove the Oathbreaker patrols lurking in the Outer Valley.
The Oathbreakers have maintained a sizable force outside the Citadel. We need the Chorus's manpower to scour the region. Otherwise, the Oathbreakers will attack at our heels once we cross the Matani. The glare silently is it's a bit of a in-joke, a tyranny in-joke. Yeah, so right now we have a choice between a first choice between helping the disfavored or the Scarlet Chorus. The first time you proclaimed an edict, you gave the enemy a suspicious amount of time to ready themselves. I chalk it up to excessive mercy for a backwards people, but when the edict is against your kin, the order you follow to the letter. Okay, let's cut the export mode because I really want to see the reputations. Where the shit is the reputations? Okay, so this is the cool, well, another cool, super duper cool feature of Tyranny, as if I didn't have enough, is that whether you're liked or disliked by a faction, you gain abilities regardless. You don't gain the same abilities, but you gain abilities because this is kind of one of the underlying features, one of the underlying mechanics of the world actually, is that your reputation, regardless of the type of reputation, imbues you with power. So let's see, we have almost 2 favor with the Scarlet Chorus and a bit of wrath. With the disfavor we're kind of equal-ish. Vendrian Guard mostly wrath, Lethian's Crossing mostly favor. But the Lethian's Crossing again they don't do shit. These motherfuckers, the Vendrian Guard are the rebel faction, we can call them. So favor is pretty cool, plus 3% hit precision. Wrath is, so in favor you hit more, in wrath the enemy hits less. Makes sense. Now disfavored, this passive, oh, I love passives. Okay, wait, how is it a passive for 30 seconds? What? I don't know. I So both all first abilities are passives. This is a new useful ability, the Wrath ability. Plus 5 hit precision on targets below 35% health. They're all good, basically. They all do some good stuff. Depends on your build. But with the Scarlet Chorus favor, I'm closer to gaining the favor one. With this favored, it doesn't really matter. And yeah, it kind of depends on the build, because this one is a radius of 3 meters. So the allies have to be around you. You have to be around the allies. So that would mean you have to build it. With my current build, you would need a melee dimension. Yeah, a melee focused party. As for this one, the Wrath for this favor, this is... it doesn't matter. As it says, once per combat, gain a damage absorption shield. But I'm gonna roll with Verse usually. I tend to take Lantry as well, because he's a great healer and lore motherfucker. And it remains to be seen what I'm thinking maybe Hunt in Shadow. Yeah, so basically doesn't really... Scarlet Chorus, I need to gain more favor with Scarlet Chorus, and yeah. Graven Ash, more favor, kind of the same shit. So, more favor with the Scarlet Chorus. Let's go help the Scarlet Chorus then. Fatebinder Stefan Monk says, I'm Cheveus, commander and 3rd generation disfavored. Although unfortunately, I think I just unfortunately took not the Scarlet Chorus quest, but we'll see. Ooh, you're following the road through an expanse of scrubby woodland, crooked oaks and dry needle pines grasping toward the sky, when you catch the sound of children's laughter filtering through the trees. Abandoning the road, you make your way to a small tributary of the Matani, snaking through the sparse forest. There you discover a group of 4 youths gathered beside the small stream. 2 of the children are sit on the rocks, poles in hand, staring patiently at the water. The other 2 are seated near a bucket, taking turns whacking eels around the ground to stun them and carving up eel meat. Alright, that's fine. There's really no benefit in scaring children. I can scare adults. Fuck them kids. Shattered iron spawn. It's a deer. It's a deer of sorts.
Sorry, I can't.
Yeah. It's okay, buddy. This motherfucker says, you know, I think I was told to respect somebody, but you seem too ugly to be him. Why exactly should I let you in? Step in close, push her down. Before she can draw her blade, you advance, place your foot behind hers, and give her a stiff shove on the ground. Caught off balance, she tumbles backwards, triggering an outburst of laughter in the other gun. I can't believe you sassed the Fadebinder. You're such a stupid pawns. Didn't I tell you we have a special guest coming? Come on in and don't let the ninny shitters in camp give you any guff. Ninny shitter? What the fuck is a ninny? What the fuck are you talking about, man? What anything got to do with Vietnam, man? Oh, but I think I chose well, because I think this is where we find Lantry. Or it was in a different situation. Filthy mongrels. Ooh, rusted iron sword. Yummy.
I'd say that's worth a second glance.
Rot spear. İndirici figure. Fragment of Bloodchanter's cloak. Shattered. Baz. Scarlet Fury, Scarlet Fury. Snigler Dagos. Fifth eye, yeah, I think this guy, right? He's not gonna end well. If I remember my Tyranny correctly. We know the Oathbreakers are focused in the citadel beneath the mountain spire, but we have learned that is not their only nest. Given their pattern of attacks, they must have a second group maintaining camp here in the outer valley, and unless we deal with the second group, they'll attack from behind the moment we cross the river. Wrong! And perhaps it is not meant to feed to her. Mala's group of scouts returned with a new batch of prisoners, and one of these prisoners claims she can lead us to the Vendringar secondary camp, though there is a shred of deception in her voice. I could use your help questioning this Varaya kill. Perhaps you will get less screams and tears and more useful information out of her. If we knew where to ambush the Oathbreakers, we could try and take their captain and show him the wisdom of joining the chorus. How did you do that? Do what? Back in the Archon stand, you cast an edict as casual as reading a supply shipment. How did you do that? was nothing really. Now is not the time to play coy. You spoke words that could lead to the deaths of hundreds. Take a moment to feel proud of yourself. I'm not trying to make you feel uncomfortable. It's just worth recognizing that what you've done. Not only are you Tunan's Fatebinder, you're the mouthpiece of the Overlord. Gives me plenty of reason to stick around. You're going places, and I want to see where they lead.
What do you need? The Scarlet Chorus is mostly for madmen and peasants with rusty daggers, but it's also a little niche of freedom that I never had. Once I survived training and met my Scarlet Fury sisters, I saw a different side of the Howling Mob. For new recruits shoved to the front lines, training means surviving the first battle. Anything beyond that is for the fighters who show potential, whether as blade dancers or arcane madmen. There's nothing in the world like getting put through the paces as a Scarlet Fury. Every day is a test of your commitment and passion. Failure means death. The first few weeks were the hardest, but also the most rewarding. I earned my name, picked up some quality weapons, and met my sisters.
You earned your name? If you think a simple farmer from the Tears would name their child Verse, I suggest you visit my old village. Most of them were walking around with surnames like Barrel or Fish. Not the most creative bunch. The chorus takes your name away. Whoever you were before, you aren't that person anymore. Then you earn back a name through great deeds, usually murderous ones. That's why you see choirmen walking around with names like Stink Mouse or Face First. There is probably a good reason for it. The voices of Nerat gave me this name. When the Scarlet Chorus runs howling into battle, he doesn't hear war, he hears a symphony. And when I fight with blade or bow, he told me that my music stands out louder than anyone else's and contains too many parts to be easily defined. When you least suspect it, the Archon of Secrets can be downright charming.
The elite fighters of the Scarlet Chorus. Your typical Horde recruit fights with a rusty spoon and a chip on his shoulder, but the Scarlet Furies are, well, different. We focus our madness. We coordinate, we kill, we dance. It's like art. Imagine a sculpture that twisted in weird, beautiful angles, and then gutted you too fast for you to realize what was happening. It is, as I remind myself all the time, the most important day of my life was when the voices of Nerat recognized my potential and sent me to Scarlet Fury training.
When I was just a kid, it didn't take me long to realize that I was a natural. I could pick up a rusty kitchen knife and skewer a rat from across the room. The Scarlet Chorus gave me opportunities to further educate myself. My sisters were always a bit surprised by how quickly I took to different fighting styles. She frowns for a moment and then shakes off whatever she wanted to say.
What do you need to know?
Who were they would be more appropriate. Three Whispers, Red Geyser, and Seeking Sheath. Best fighters I ever met. There wasn't a foe we couldn't take down together. Our fighting styles complemented perfectly, so we divided up the killing work like bards sharing a song. At least we used to. What happened to them? We were scouting around Vendrian's well during the siege, back when we only suspected the guard of organizing in secret. My sisters and I came upon a group of them, or Kairos knows, maybe they found us. No one said anything. We drew iron and bronze. That was when everything went wrong. I was supposed to take point and occupy the guard with a dance of blade work, something disorienting while my sisters picked their marks. I hesitated. I lost my nerve. Instead of rushing the Oathbreakers, I froze with my weapons drawn. My sisters fought on without me, but they were off balance, like whatever I had was catching. They died. I lived. My sisters were relying on me to lead the dance, and I failed them. You're absolutely right. If I had witnessed the same in one of my sisters, I might have even killed her for endangering the rest of us. Good thing for me that they didn't get the chance. Hesitation is a rot. It's unbecoming of any chorus member and unheard of in a Scarlet Fury. I would cut it from my body and cauterize the wound if I only knew the source. Please, someone. I wish to bow before the voices of Nerat. I thought all could find redemption in the chorus. This one was hollering earlier that she knows the location of the Vendrian Guard encampment, but she isn't being entirely honest. I told this thing that I wanted a guarantee I'd live and be welcomed into the chorus as a captain. Then I'll talk. Otherwise, they'll just kill me once I've opened up. I was dumb enough to join with the Vendrian Guard, but I'm not dumb enough to give away my bargaining bronze. You claim you would disavow your people for the Scarlet Chorus. Why the change of heart? Because I want to live, and you don't need to be the Archon of Premonitions to know that the younger realms are gone for. Kairos is the new strength of the tiers, and I would rather stand with the Archons than be crushed by them. Why should I trust the word of an Oathbreaker? I suppose I have no answer for that. When I joined with the Vendrian Guard, I accepted their broken vow unto myself. Have you not felt passion for a foolish cause? One you later came to regret? Well, my surrender is sincere, and I'm willing to bow before the voices of Nerat to prove it. Tell me what you know, and I can see to your release. I heard the chorus is looking for Captain Felox Florian Felox, and his crew. I can lead you to them, but only if you release me. She turns her head, taking a long look at skewered and smoldering corpses around her. She tugs at her restraints, but to no avail. We could have the voices of Nerat extract what you know from your mind. But the Archon said, that we should, he said, the chorus commander stops, his head tilting to you with a short murmur of epiphany. The Archon said we should bring the uncooperatives to his tent for personal interrogation. You talk to us, or you visit the Archon of Secrets. The choice is yours. Well, you see, shaken by your demand, her lips move wordlessly for several seconds. So I don't know exactly where the rest of my crew is, but I can tell you. Search that one. She reaches up with her right leg and points with her foot, calling attention to a nearby pile of corpses. Jesus. The tall dark one, missing most of his face. Check his left boot. He was the literate one in our crew. He had the orders. With a snap of his fingers, a pair of choirmen yank the boot off the fallen guardsman. A rolled parchment slides out of the boot and is thrust into the fifth eye science. He unfolds the scroll to give it a read. It's nonsense, just a mash of words. Laughter erupts from under the mask. She said she had information. She gives us garbage. Slay the wretch for wasting our time. He snaps his fingers at the nearby Scarlet Fury, who promptly snatches a long knife from her belt. Minor wrath. I don't want wrath with the Scarlet Chorus.
Sorry to interrupt.
Hey, Landry.
But I highly doubt it's gibberish. More likely, it's one of the local scripts. Well, let me see. I can't. So, I don't know exactly what it says, but I'm half certain that's Sage Selwyn's handwriting. I'm sure I could decipher that in a few hours' time. Don't need my hands free, but I think better when not tied to a post. I know, I'm weird that way.
I love Lantry. A few hours, either you can read it or you cannot. Or this is a sage that doesn't know his letters. I've heard all I need to hear. I say we have some fun with this one.
I would love to help. I just need some time. That's written in another sage's shorthand. I'd have to sit down with it, or better yet, compare it to a piece of his writing I have stashed on me somewhere.
Sober? Since when do we share the good stuff with the prisoners?
Oh, nobody shared. Right before I was taken prisoner, I imbibed several vials of reagents. I wanted to be numb and disconnected when my captors used me for carnal catharsis. It's made these last few days tied to a post almost enjoyable.
You gotta, like, respect Lantry. A motherfucker, he pre-gamed to survive torture. Ah, nice.
Fatebinder, I beseech you, be my advocate for this trial. I'm no fool. I know the chorus uses blood, not words, to settle these matters. But you are a servant of the Archon of Justice, are you not?
Release this prisoner at once. I'm taking him into my custody. Not a chance he's our prisoner. If you think you can crack the information we need out of his skull without troubling the Archon, that's one thing. But you're not walking out of here with our property. Ooh, grab him by the mask. Did you just tell me no? Ah. The chorus warrior emits a whimpering squeal as you grab him by the chain of his mask and pull him close. Gloved hands press against you, but try as he might, his push cannot exceed your pull. Release the prisoner to me, and I won't shame and degrade you in full view of your followers. Yes, yes.
Thank you. Oh, I thought I was going to wind up as another corpse in that pile. Now, hand me that parchment. The sooner I...
Well, much of the parchment was weathered, but I could make out the important parts of the text. The note makes mention of meeting spot west of Tripnettle. So, the old sage knows his words after all. I'd ask that you travel ahead and see if you can get this Captain Florian to yield to the chorus. They will strike at first sight of a chorus gang, but perhaps they will parley if yours is the face they see. I know the area and I suggest we go at once. I'll show you the way. I am eager to be far from the stench of this camp. You're offering to come with me? With me? Why? Because the alternative is, what? Living here with these illiterate brutes? My old study is under a river of fire and there's no family missing me. Besides, I'd much rather chronicle the binder that twice proclaimed an edict of Kairos. I'd be a fool to let someone else write your story. Fine, if you're so eager, come with me. Splendid! You won't be disappointed, yes. I know I may seem old and frail, but I know how to step lightly and how not to get killed. Really, I won't slow you down. Lead the way and let me know if I can be of service. Are we done here? Let's hightail it to Tripnettle. if your new pet doesn't behave himself along the way, I'm not above clipping his ears. Hey. Wait. I wanna... God damn it. Didn't we auto... son of a bitch. Auto level companions, please. Probably it's gonna level them later. Renewal restores weapons and armor to pristine condition, increases damage from weapons and protection from armor. Strikes his target, interrupting them and lowering their non-physical armor. Quill strike. This is the healing one, right? Yeah. Well, it's a bit late. I don't know how long have we been doing this. It's just a bit over 2 hours. So yeah, that's the very start of Tyranny, and just in the very start of Tyranny, you could just see how many, like the same events you play through now could have gone just a bit different depending on your prior decisions in Conquest. And as you go through the rest of the game, all of these other what you see here kind of expands and multiplies similarly, and then the things you kind of do here now tend to then have effects later on in the game. Really good. Next week I have a Tyranny video coming out. That's about all I'm gonna say. I've been Steven Hansen. Thank you very much for watching, and good luck out there.